he's singing, you know, he's not thinking, okay, I'm going to play these 2 notes piano, then I'm going to go mid. No, he's totally interpreting from here, right? So si toca es, toca do, mi, la. So it's, he does diminuendo, my job to do diminuendo. ¿Verdad? If we switch, I play on top. O sea, tenemos, we have to sort of sound as one. Es que no importa, ¿verdad? O sea, el son de la negra. Él toca el son de la negra, tú tocas con el otro. All those little details. We're going. He went. Anticipó la nota. Why? Porque ese es el gusto. Once we put it on paper, and 1,000 people play it, then what happens? ¿Qué pasa con el gusto? You understand what I mean? That's where I say it's so important, you know, to listen to these records, to the original records, and try to follow as much. And my job is not to say, whose arrangement did you follow on that? So I could. It's like the furthest thing from our minds, right? Puede trabajar en otra cosa, por ejemplo, si él toca el poquito del becerro, toca un poquito del becerro. Es original, así completa, ¿verdad? But it's really, there's a lot of interpretation to the song. If you notice, it's even though he's playing a song, he's sort of singing it in a way. You know, and that's, it's very difficult to play like that. It's equal to the most simple, ¿verdad?
You have to feel it. Well, you have to do it like I said before, no? That those words, passion, the valor, and the conviction.
And I think that we also feed off. Yo les digo también, like for me, I feed off of what a lot of times of what they're interpreting, what they're playing. El mánico. So we, in our minds, we know what's going on here. So if I tell Chencho, oye, toca, él conoce el mánico. Because all that comes into play. Conoce los arcos. That all comes into play when we're playing with a group. Like we're all connecting because we know what's going on. We're not just going, okay, we're the trumpet players, so we're going to play our part. And we're going to form this ensemble, this like complete sound that you're going to hear. It has, that's like the furthest thing from our minds. We are so much connected with what we're doing. You know, and we feel it. When we feel that, for instance, he'll turn around. I know that when he does this, okay, he feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you guys, you're supposed to follow from
the melody. No?
See, right? First is the melody, and then the consequence of the melody. It's not the opposite. Most of you, I'm not saying you, but most of you, You're playing your own way, you're not following. You have to follow the melody. That melody is number one.
And once it locks in, it's, we lock in, and that's it. And there's some times where there's a natural feeling to, you know what, aquí, boom, boom, let's do a little acelerando, because that's what the feel of it. It's not, okay, we gotta stay in the, that's a metronome marking of this song, and all of a sudden it becomes another music.
You know, in the rhythm over there is 6/8, no es a 3/4. Okay? Tran, tan, tan, ta, da, dan, ta, 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 tan, 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 ta, 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 ta. No es, most of the guys that play this, they ta, 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 ta.
It's an anticipation with an accent.
No, it's a 6/8 feeling.
Vamos al solfeo, right? Vamos al solfeo, and I tell them how important solfeo is. So,
Re, do, mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, do, mi, re. Re, do, mi, fa, mi, re, do, mi, re, do, mi, re. Do, si, do, re, mi, re, do, si, mi, re, do, re, sol. Do, si, do, re, mi, re, do, si, mi, re, do, re, sol. Si, re, sol, si, la, sol, fa. Tan, 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 pam, pam, pam. Y dentro de ahí, don't slow the rhythm. Taran, tan, tan, chan, 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 tan, 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 taran, tan, 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 taran, tan, 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 taran, chocan, chocan, tan, tan, tan.
so if it's playing, it's a feel, it's not like a song. If you play, tan, 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 tan. His groove of how he's playing it, right? So it's just a matter of.
And the singing is the same way, okay?
It's rhythmic, it's not phrased.
Se tiene que cantar
las sílabas con el acento también.
No, pero sí, las sílabas con acento, pero las tara.
Las anticipaciones.
Sí, no, son las notas.
Las apoyaturas.
Apoyaturas no son mordentes, son apoyaturas. El becerro no ha mamado, el becerro no ha mamado, porque la vaca no vino, porque la vaca no vino. Mi abuelita lo mantiene, mi abuelita lo mantiene con basura del camino, porque así no le conviene. Lázaro, Lázaro, la mayor es Lázaro, Lázaro. Lázaro, Lázaro, Lázaro que ya se va, échame tus brazos, mi alma, güerita, si me tienes voluntad, Lázaro. With passion.
Es el gusto, pues.
You're making love, I mean, in the good sense of the word. They're making love to music,
Entonces, exactly like a 3/4 que estamos hablando, por ejemplo, El Rey, algo que grabó con José Alfredo. That was very, very, I think that the record was really, really instrumental. That record, and also where he's playing first in the Disco de Gracias, for the majority of the songs, it's really instrumental for trumpet players, for melody. Anything that has to do with style, man, at that time was pretty awesome. So, if he plays El Rey, he could probably play it 2 or 3, maybe slightly different ways that sound good. It's not one way only.
But within the same style.
So, si tocas, El Rey lo grabaron en si bemol, ¿no?
Sí.
En si bemol.
Sí, está bajito.
¿Verdad?
Sí.
So he plays en si bemol El Rey, ¿no?
¿Ah? El vibrato tiene que ser dobles cocheas, ¿okay? 60 notes. Con el estilo original del mariachi.
And you know, and it's all within that same little style, you know. I think when we recorded it was dun dun da 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 da, because Cipriano used to use a lot of that da da da, no? So if they write down, I think if they got the music, no sé, I think they will probably write your own articulations, right? Whoever would decide.
No, that only notes.
Only they have notes, and it was the players that came up with the articulations. Igual como el bajo, they just had the chords, they didn't have bass lines written, you know? It was the bass players that came, that's why nothing was so good, you know?
You know, the mariachi bandas before, it was the musicians.
O sea, there was not written, there was the guy that they had, but it was the bass line written, the manicos were, the musicians were creating a lot. It was sort of, seemed like a lot freer, you know, in that era, ¿no? O si toca el cantinero, ¿eh? Okay. So it's my job not to overpower him, right? Because once he laid back, I have to lay back right with my brother, right? Or else me da una mirada de esas que me atraviesan. But you know, in the good sense of the word, when you grow up with that, there's no other way that you're gonna go. Y una mirada es como, y para allá no, es para acá. Es para acá.
Y como las polcas.
Oh, las polcas. ¿No? Que mañana se va a tocar algo de Miguel Martínez que tocará. Es igual. Por ejemplo, cuando él toca algo de Miguel Martínez, he plays it in the spirit of Miguel Martínez. Right? Así toca las cotorras, un poquito de las cotorras. Crisp, very clear, very clean.
He recorded it very nicely.
It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but there's something about how he throws the air into the trumpet that makes it sound sweet. What is that? What can we call that? It's soul, right? It's playing with soul. Yes, it's mariachi, you know? And that's the kind of stuff that we feel so passionate and so strongly about. That's why when I sort of had the talk with you guys about teach them to listen, teach the kids to listen, because that's where it all starts. Yes. El solfeo, knowing the intervals, what's going on with the intervals.
Escuchen discos, pero los discos, bueno, música buena, antiguo, porque vaya uno, lo que está grabando es lo que yo estoy grabando, tengo música nueva. Por cierto, va a ser un comercial, traje mis dos discos que hice, que tengo nuevos, de música nueva, con arreglos míos y todo en mi estudio de grabación.
Y ranchero,
pero todo es ranchero. Pero, bueno, the main idea in what I'm doing personally, making Mexican music, but the main reason that I'm making my music is to glorify my Lord Jesus Christ. He's the one that saved my life a year and a half ago, that I was diagnosed that I was going to die within 2 months. So he said different, and I'm here. Yeah? For more, forever more.
But you know, it's so inspirational, you know, to see. I mean, I don't like to say, you know, my brother is, what, he's 69 years young or 70 years?
No, 68.
68. O sea, and he's still playing just killer. You know, it's awesome. You know, I feel so proud. You know, wow, he's my brother. And this kind of stuff is so important, you know, for kids to see, because it all comes back to discipline, the discipline of practicing.
To love
practicing.
To love what
to have the control to interpret How many of you are trumpet players here? I mean, to have the control, so much control, to interpret anything you want to do, for it to come out the way you think of it here and here, and for it to come out of the horn, that's the ultimate. I would assume with singers it's the same thing. You hear the way you want to sing, and you have the chops, you have the vocal cords to express what you're singing, exactly the way you want it. And a lot of times, you know, within the years, I think trumpet playing has gotten so like technical and so methodical that, oh, it's just notes, slurs, short, it's got put into this little box. And you know, mariachi trumpet is much more than that. You know, and it's I mean, we're the ones who really dominate more than any other instrument in the ensemble. So you could have a killer violin section and a killer rhythm section, but if you have good trumpet, a good trumpet, he's going to make the whole ensemble sound sort of like this. You could have very mediocre violins, very mediocre guitarra, and you have a killer trumpet player that sings. He's going to dominate. It's good. People are going to gravitate to the sound, the loudest sound, right? So it's so important, you know, that you guys hear that. I mean, it's been ages since you know, mucho tiempo que no tocamos juntos, ¿no? But it's still that discipline of wanting to follow. You know, wanting to follow. Which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to go? Once you play a lot, you already know more what's going to happen. Pero si estás tocando, that style of the staccato and stuff like that. You hear Chencho play it.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Play it. So you bien rete bonito. Not thinking, oh, I learned it like this in the music, right? It's a solo. It's solo, right? So it's like I think many bits like jazz. You know what? It's your solo, man. So just and el mariachi lleva mucho de eso. Lleva mucho de eso, and we feed off of each other. We feed off of each other. One inspires the other, or you know, it's just it's magic. You know?
Mexican jazz.
Mexican jazz. Yeah, exactly. No, Mexican jazz. Yes. Mexican jazz. traditional mariachi trumpet playing, right, has become very palatable for a lot of people that listen to mariachi. And it's thanks to him, because he's the one that took that first step where nobody, I don't think he had too much resistance. I think when he did that record with Grande Grande con Los Galleros, it was in 1976. And there was not that much resistance. On the contrary, when they heard him, que bonito, you know, that was like the talk of that whole year, and the year after that, the year after that, right? Because he incorporated that into the mariachi trumpet playing. And I'm grateful for that, you know, because that was something, I mean, I was just right out of high school. I remember that's like one of the first recordings that I went with him. Donde que te quiero, Sim Toño, and myself, and then, like, yeah, andamos ahí ayudándole a Pedro, mi hermano. But it's just, you know, just to grow up in a family that had so much love and passion for the music, it's just amazing. And what they brought, I think, the love, I think that Silvestre had for sones was amazing. You know, Chencho era muy preguntón con don Silvestre. Ese sí era muy preguntón. Oye, no, esta apoyatura, y doy esto, y acá entre los de Silvestre sí lo quería mucho a mi hermano Chencho. Y lo quería mucho Silvestre.
Él me enseñó bien los sones a mí. Sí. Por eso lo sé más o menos, porque él, en el tiempo del presidente Echeverría, anduvimos con él 2 meses y medio en toda su gira de presentación para ser presidente. Y es cuando él me enseñó a mí, cuando vimos fuera de todo México y luego fuera de él.
So, you know, they come with all this information, and they come back to LA, and who benefits from that? You know, Los Galleros benefited a great deal from that. Los Camperos benefited a great deal for that. That's like I showed you a lot of the pictures, you know, all this. I told them that you must have been in and out of Los Camperos like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
But it was always because I think, like, you know, not they always had this love and respect for him. It's like, you know, we need him to come in, you know, to sort of set us in the path that we need to be. A lot of people don't like to say that, but I mean, it's really the truth, you know, and it's very inspiring for all of us. When I was growing up, very, very inspiring to hear that, you know, and wanting to play, you know, at that level. And what you see the way that they're going, and you say, there's no other path, you know, but to try to follow that path. And it's in the spirit of Miguel Martinez. You know, and every generation sort of puts their little granito de arena. You know, and I think when Chencho came along, you know, and laid down a lot of recordings, it inspired a whole generation. The trumpet players that we're doing now, you know, it's all in that spirit. Thank you so much for being here with us. I don't know, ¿estamos? ¿Estamos? Gracias, Pancho, por la invitación. Un fuerte aplauso para Mañana. Con Margarita ahorita vamos a
¿Qué quieren escuchar?
¿Quieren escuchar?
¿Asunción?